Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. What I'd love to do today, on this day, is to go through a book and do a walk and talk. And the book that I have for today is entitled Welcoming the Unwelcome, a book that was authored by Pema Chödrön and published on the 8th of October 2019, and is a book that looks at wholehearted living in a broken-hearted world. Most people, I feel, are struggling with the discomforts of life, resisting pain, avoiding difficult emotions, and feeling overwhelmed by the brokenness of the world. Pema Chödrön's work feels like a gentle hand on one's shoulder, reminding us to lean into the messiness of life rather than pushing it away. That is powerful, powerful, mature advice. Her words are a guide to opening our hearts even when it feels impossible, and finding peace in the midst of chaos. So the first key message from this author is the call to action to embrace discomfort instead of resisting it. One of the book's core teachings is that resisting discomfort only amplifies it. Chödrön invites us to welcome the unwelcome by facing challenging emotions and situations with curiosity instead of avoidance. When we stop running from pain, we discover that it isn't as unbearable as we had imagined. It often holds the seeds for our growth and development. The other point that comes from this author is that the world is both broken and beautiful. Chödrön acknowledges the heartbreak of the world, but reminds us that brokenness and beauty can coexist at the same time. Life's difficulties don't negate its goodness. Instead, they create opportunities for compassion and connection. We can hold space for both the suffering and the joy without denial or despair. And compassion starts with ourselves. We often think of compassion as something we extend to others, but this wise author emphasizes the importance of self-compassion, welcoming the parts of ourselves we dislike, such as the anger, the fear, the mistakes, teaches us to accept others as they are as well. Self-kindness is the foundation of wholehearted living. And another powerful message is that we need to learn to pause before reacting. Life constantly offers us situations that provoke anger and defensiveness. Chödrön suggests pausing for just a moment before reacting, and in that brief space, we can choose a response rooted in understanding rather than reactivity. This simple practice can transform conflicts into opportunities for connection, because uncertainty is where growth happens. We often cling to certainty as a form of security, but Chödrön reminds us that growth happens where we step into the unknown. By embracing uncertainty, we open ourselves to new possibilities and learn to trust the unfolding of life when we can't control it. Prayer and meditation is offered as a tool for grounding oneself. Chödrön emphasizes the power of prayer and meditation, not as a way to escape reality, but as a practice of being present within it. By sitting with our thoughts and emotions, we develop the ability to stay grounded during life's storms and cultivate a sense of inner peace and growth. And another key lesson from this author is that everyone is struggling in some way. So we need to show some personal leadership and practice loving kindness. One of the most profound lessons in this book is the reminder that everyone is carrying their own burdens. Chödrön teaches us to practice loving kindness, prayer, silently wishing others happiness and freedom from suffering. This practice dissolves barriers and fosters a sense of shared humanity. Another key message that I absolutely love is that we need to let go of the need to be right. Our egos often push us to defend our opinions at all costs, but Chödrön challenges us to let go of the need to be right. By prioritizing understanding over winning an argument, we can create real dialogue and real connection, even with those we disagree with. And we need to understand that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Chödrön draws a distinction between pain and suffering. While pain is a natural part of life, suffering arises when we resist or cling to it. By accepting pain with openness, we can reduce unnecessary suffering and find peace even in difficult moments. And the last key message from this book is that wholehearted living requires one to open up to vulnerability. Living wholeheartedly means opening our hearts fully to love, to loss, to joy, and to pain. This wonderful author, Chödrön, teaches us that vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a courageous choice to engage with life fully, even when it hurts. This openness allows us to connect more deeply with ourselves and with others. What a fantastic book. I remember my Auntie Angela, my late Auntie Angela, was sick and ill for many years with a very rare disease called scleroderma. But she had great faith. She was a person of the church and had a great love for God, for Jesus, and for everybody. And she said that whilst she goes through pain and discomfort, she's not suffering, because suffering, she said, is a choice, and it's something that you don't have to go through, and just to respect God's will. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me on this episode, on this powerful, powerful book, and I look forward to chatting with you again shortly. Bye for now.